you want to do that? So I'm going to be free to do of Schmitz, but yes, that sounds amazing. More air in here for sure.
I know you said that was not as noisy, but no, it's okay.
Oh, you had the funniest performance to my retirement.
Oh.
Can you give me a sound
A little bit,
check?
it's true, right?
Can
Sure.
you give me a sound check where you're going to be?
But we're gonna, well, we don't have our mics set up yet. So give us one more minute. Well, it's gonna be louder. You know what I mean?
Might be definitely will be. Okay, Ben has a list of instructions, one of which is.
Oh, look at that. Is Karen there? One of them? Sure she is. But thank you. Thank you. That was nice. Because she really. Hey, Shana Tova. Oh, yay. Oh. Okay, I'll give you more of a sound check now. Oh, good.
Back there? Oh, back there. This table wasn't available then. It is now, but there was stuff on it.
Oh, I see. Okay, good. Yeah.
Here's the deal.
That's good.
Do you want the loudest or the softest? Huh?
Give me a ring.
All right. Hello, testing. This will be the soft end. Testing. Hello, can everybody hear? Yes. And the loud end would sound something like this.
Like seriously.
Let's do Abdullah. Yes, please.
Ambiance, yes.
No, that's good. Thank you. Thank you, Ben.
Testing. Put my thing in there. It's great. Testing? Yeah.
One more time. Keep going.
Say again. Hello. And good to Beth. It's good to see everybody. Nice to be indoors too.
Yeah, this is probably a better idea. So I'm going to give instructions. Are we going to start with that or start with Abdullah? Oh, perfect. There's got to be more people who don't have books. Really? Okay. Thank you.
You start and then I'll. Oh, we are doing Abdullah.
Oh, we don't need it anymore. You gave us a whole bima. I thought we were gonna be outside in front of the plants.
Oh, that's true.
You know, that's what we planned for.
Freaking hot.
Huh?
It'd be so hot, and then it would start raining.
Yeah. I didn't occur to us. So
Me neither.
we had a barbecue before Shabbos last night, and we ended up doing it inside too.
We had a garden dedication, and just as we were to dedicate, the heavens blew up. But then we dedicated and then went outside. It's fun. I love you guys. I'm so happy.
You were cute.
Yep, perfect.
It's gonna be food. That's good.
Am I just talking to that one? Will it work? You have them all. I hope I have mine. We have a joke of delicate.
You know, these Chinese have delicate and it's just.
I start with the name.
Before people sing.
The da, yes. The play.
But you could get a young person in that.
Let's see, who a young person.
There's one young person.
Where's the young person?
It's youngish.
You have been selected.
No?
Oh, come on, who doesn't want to hold a Havdalah candle?
You can come up here and do it. Do it right here.
You can hold it on top of your eyebrows and kill two birds with one stone.
Oh, there you go.
You know,
הנה אל ישועתי אבטח ולא אפחד כי עוזי וזמרתיה אדוני ויהי לי לישועה ושבתם מים בששון ממעייני הישועה לאדוני הושיע עליו ברכתך סלע אדוני צבאות עמנו משגב לנו אלוהי יעקב סלע אדוני צבאות אשרי אדם בוטח בך אדוני הושיע מלך יעננו ביום קוראנו ליהודים ליהודים הייתה אורה ושמחה וששון ועיקר כן תהיה לנו כוס ישועות אשא ובשם אדוני אקרא. Everybody gets to sing. You can also stand up and come close and put arms around one another, whatever you want to do. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu
think everybody smells the spices.
It's important. Shavua Tov, everyone. Welcome to what is known to the clergy as Hell Week.
That full moon this year, extra large, just to scare us.
Just because. I'm so thrilled that everyone is here. This is first of all beautiful space for singing and for being together. And don't feel constricted to your seats. There are seats here because there are seats here. But should you want to get up and dance, should you want to go in the back and cry and pound your chest and open your heart, or whatever you want to do, this year my advice to everyone is just to get to the place where it's meaningful to you, and not to worry about the constrictions of what's around you. It's also kind of a bittersweet year for me because I don't know what's happening next year. I mean, I'm going to have the title of Emerita, and God only knows what that means. Pretty much nothing, but I may be here celebrating with you. I may be here leading with these wonderful people. I may be up in Auburn with these wonderful people.
Anytime.
But let me tell you, it is like it would not be the holidays without Shirley and Lisa here, and without all of you. So I am just really, I guess you shouldn't say I'm so happy to have Selichot, but Selichot is a really, it's a powerful thing, and you guys make it pretty amazing. So it's just that your kids now have gotten too old for you to force to come down here and play for us. But
Sometimes they make
they're
other
too
plans.
social.
they're too social.
Yeah.
Well, any rate, so it is truly an honor to have. In public, you're Rebbitzin, Lisa?
Yeah, but you can just say
And
Shirley
Rabbi,
Rebbitzin.
truly, yeah, these guys, my friends. It's wonderful to have you here. And everybody should have a Selichot book. You will notice that it is like a lousy translation. And every year I say I'm going to do a new one, and every year I don't. So next year I'll be retired. Maybe I can make one. And not only do you guys don't have them in the back? We need one. You might have to. Oh, look, they're right up here. Perfect. So also don't feel constricted to the gender-filled words or whatever. Just feel connected to the meanings. So welcome. Come on in. I'll hand you a book. Sit anywhere. Enjoy yourself. Do a lot of I'm sorrying, and I turn it over to you guys.
Oh, thank you. So this year we'll do an extra Hasidic Selichot, or Selichas. So we'll start with a niggin. And I say this frequently because it's true. If I was forced to live on a desert island with only one niggin, this would be it. My opinion. Oh yeah. So please sing along with us as soon if you know it, and if you don't know it, sing anyway.
You'll learn it. Because sometimes you have to turn on the horror.
So, Selichot. Hello? Am I off? Oh, was I off the whole time? Okay. Selichot. What does the word mean?
Means, the plural version of many stories, or the singular version of just sorry, but many stories all at once.
So, thank you, Ben. So, some of you who've been to Israel know that slicha is a word that you hear frequently, although not as frequently as you probably should. So, thank you. So, and slichot, right? Sorries, right? Or maybe better translated as regrets in this case, in context. Things that are actually prayers, music that were composed both through words and through melodies or chants or nusach to bring us to introspection, to think about to look at ourselves honestly, right? And to see ourselves maybe in the mirror that's really flat and shows us exactly how we are, not the funny glasses that we usually wear that let us believe that we are much better than we really are, right? And that's the point of, it's one of the ways in which to approach Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, the Yomim Noraim, the days of awe, the high holidays, with a sense of humility and honesty and realness, because it's only through honesty and really taking a clear and honest look at who we are that we can approach this and say, well, maybe there are things that we can do a little better. And maybe we're not as perfect as we'd like to think we are. So, and brilliantly, we have nusach, right? We have different kinds of melody chants that let us know the prayers don't change all that much. Most of the prayers don't change all that much, but the melodies do change to let us know it's Shabbos, it's Yontif, it's a Chag, it's a Shabbat, it's Musaf rather than Shachrit, it's the nighttime prayer rather than the daytime prayer, and the Yamim Noraim have a set of melodies all to themselves, and they are our oldest melodies, and we know that they're our oldest melodies because they are the most universal, at least in the Ashkenazi world. And so if there are people here from the Sephardic world, I'm sorry. That's, your music is way too complicated. But at least in the pan-Ashkenazi world, all the way from the western border of France to the Balkans and northern Lithuania and Ukraine and Russia, and so this is our oldest our oldest music our oldest nusach, chanting melodies that were intended to make us realize that, something serious is going on. And so here we'll begin with the Chatzi Kaddish on page 10.
I am the daughter and granddaughter and great-granddaughter of chazanim, cantors. And at this time, around this time, from the time I could hear, these melodies were swirling all over our house. My father, who was a high holiday chazan, would consult his brother, who was a chazan, consult their father. Oh, is there a new melody? What do you think of this chord? This was my life, the whole end of the summer. And I cannot imagine that at any point, my grandfather, Rabbi Mordecai Weintraub, my uncle, David Weintraub, or my father, Saul Weintraub, ever thought that Lisa Weintraub, mayor, would be standing here playing the Chatzi Kaddish, and it feels really good. Thank you. We can clap.
So we'll close the opening piyut on page 18. Haneshama lach. We say to God, okay, we're looking at ourselves, and we don't like everything that we see, and maybe we're a little embarrassed to stand before God as who we actually are. But we remind God, don't forget, you made us. So some of this is your fault. And when we ask for forgiveness, remember that you made us. And you should have mercy, chas, on your amalach, on your hard work, the hard work that you did to make us who we are. Be merciful in judgment. And if you just let's just say one thing about the music, the nusach of this, which repeats now throughout. It's just this amazing. It begins with this mournful modal minor, and then goes to this majestic major. So we start with kind of trepidation and fear and maybe sorrow even, but we leave with hope and faith and confidence. הגוף שלך אדוני יעשה למען שמך עשנו על שמך אדוני יעשה למען שמך בעבור כבוד שמך כי אל חנון ורחום שמך למען שמך אדוני וסלחת לעווננו כי רחום. In that last four majestic words, we said, forgive our sins because they're many. And if we can chant that majestically, that's the place that we want to be on these high holidays. So the form of Selichot is to have a piyut, some kind of poem or hymn, and then we kind of punctuate it the way all throughout the year we punctuate the service with the Kaddish. In the Selichot service, we punctuate it with the 13 attributes of God, which you'll know when it comes up. So I'd like to begin for the first piyut, a Hasidic song. And I'm going to bring two Hasidic songs tonight, and they're both contrafact, which is a fancy word for they were heard somewhere, maybe in the forest. That's the story they tell, probably in the tavern. And there's something very special, I think, about these folk songs, folk ballads, because they really speak, I think, to really great human truths. And so Hasidic Rebbes, teachers, composers, heard these melodies, heard these truths, and realized that with a few little tweaks, it can very much express what they want to express. And this one is it almost seems subversive, but so the early Hasidic community was subversive. And one of its great subversions was that it rebelled against synagogues. And rather than joining the community, big, large, fancy community synagogues that were in every Jewish community, they said, we're not going to pray with you. And that was revolutionary and very concerning. We're not going to pray in your synagogues. We're going to pray in a shtibel. We're going to pray in a house. We don't need to be in the fancy building with you people. We're going to be in our houses and reimagine our relationship with the davening, with the prayer. And this, of course, caused a lot of backlash, really a lot of backlash, and a lot of political controversy. And I think this song was a response to this. And I can only imagine what the original was, but what I imagine is it's an abused wife, a battered wife. It doesn't exactly say, of course, because it's been changed a little bit to fit the narrative here, but who runs out into the forest, and her husband is running after her and chasing her. Please come home. I miss you. I love you. I feel so lonely without you. And she must have responded something like, you want me to come home? Stop beating me. And in the Hasidic imagination, this became God, right? Or the synagogue establishment running out into the woods after the Hasidic community. Why aren't you here? Why? Come back. We want you. We value you. And they respond with, and the punchline really is, if you want us to come back, you have to change how you do things. We don't want to be in a synagogue where if you're not rich or very learned or have yichus, have great lineage, that's the only, then you're valued. But if you don't have those things, if you're a poor, illiterate Jew who just wants to have a relationship with God, we don't find that our place there. So we can't, and it's said here in the term of, in the phraseology of, remove the guards from the door, then we'll come back. And I think, so there's a lot of message here for all of our synagogues and the different barriers that we erect, some social, some religious, that keep different kinds of people or push different kinds of people away. And I think we see this now in Israel, where people in power are promulgating laws, rules, and actions that are causing other people to say, we don't want to be in this country anymore, we want to leave. And the government is, why are you leaving? Stay with us, stay, serve in the army, be part of us. They're like, well, then change if you want us to be part of you. So, but with all this, there's a great sing-along chorus, as in most Hasidic things, a great sing-along niggin. And the niggin goes like this. Ay da day 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 ya day 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 ya day 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 ay day day ay ya day 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 ay ya day 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 ya day 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 ya day 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 ay 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 ya day day. One more time. Ay ya day day ay ya day day day. Ay, 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 כל בייר אנוכי שוימיה auf la bonim koire a geschrei und a gewalt und a gepilger a futter im wald such seine kinder. I hear in the forest a cry and a shout, a father seeks his children who have wandered about. I Bonai, bonai, hechon halachtem asher alai, kach shechachtem kinder, kinder, wo seid ihr gewesen, was auf mir hat ihr also vergessen? Children, children, where can you be that you no longer remember me? Ay, 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 ay. Ay da da ay da 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 ay da da ay da 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 ay da da ay da 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 banay lechu leveiti ki lo ukhal shabes yechidi bebeisi Kinder, Kinder, kommt zu mir heim, weil es ist mir dich zu sein allein. Children, children, return to your home, for it's hard for me to be all alone. Ay, ay, da, 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 ay, da, da, ay, da, 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 ay, da, da. Ay da 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 ay da 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 ay da 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 ay da da ay da 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 avinu avinu nelech ki ashomer oy mit beshar melech der Vater sie kennen mir kein zu dir as der Schäumer sitzt bei der Tür. Oh Father, how can we return once more while your guards are surrounding the door? Ay da da ay da da ay da 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 ay da da ay da 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 ay da da ay da da ay da 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 ay da da ay da 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 oh ay da da ay da da ay da 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 ay da da ay da 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 ay da da ay da da ay da da I'm going to continue. Page 26. 26. I guess let's read it together in English, in its archaic language. Most patient God, together. Most patient God, Master of mercy, you have shown us the way of penitence. Grant loving kindness every day to the children of your beloved people. We seek your presence and supplication. Meet us with mercy, O Master of mercy. We come before you with our prayers. Turn away wrath, shelter us, protect us. Forgive transgressions, blot out sins, as on the day when you answered Moses. Heed now our cry, listen to our speech, as on the day of your revelation. And the Hebrew, about 3 lines from the bottom of the second paragraph. Tavor al pesha v'timcha shalom ki yon yatzei mo shalom Tazun shava teinu v'takshiv mimenu ma'amar ki yon vayikra b'shem Adonai v'shom ne'emar Vayavor Adonai al panav vayikra Adonai Adonai el rachum v'chanun ורב חסד לאמת, נוצר חסד לנופלים, נושא עוון בפשע וחטוא ונקנה. וסלחת לבנינו חטאותינו וחטאנו, סלח לנו אבינו כי חטאנו, וחלנו מלכנו כי פשענו, כי אתה אדוני טוב וסלוח ורב חסד לכל קוראיך. Forgive us our sins, claim us as your own. Forgive us, our Father, for we have sinned. Pardon us, our Sovereign, for we have transgressed. You, our God, are generous and forgiving. Great is your love for all who call upon you. You can be seated. Oh. The second piyut is on page 32. We'll do that traditionally. I want to talk just for a second, if it's okay, if I'm not talking too much, about Motzei Shabbat, or Saturday night, and Havdalah. And you wouldn't know this except from our traditional liturgical hymn collections, right? Or Zmiris, as we say, Zmirot, right? The Shabbos table songs. But in addition to Shabbos table songs, we have Malava Malka, or following Havdalah meal table songs as well. And they're all about the Messiah. They're all about Mashiach and the coming of the Mashiach, because the idea, I think, is that on Shabbat we forget our troubles, and we imagine that things are all good. And Mein Olam Haba, the taste of the world to come, the Messianic world. But then Shabbos ends, and we're back to real life. And so we know that, okay, if we want the once-a-week Shabbos to become every day, then we have to the world has to change in some kind of Messianic vision. So so there's a kind of a special relationship with, that's why we sing Eliyahu Hanavi, for example. So we sing Eliyahu Hanavi after Havdalah, because it's a way to bring the Mashiach, to bring the Messiah. Right? Elijah the prophet is going to come and bring us the Messiah, for example. So this is a piyut. It follows a very typical form, which again, I think from a time when most people, if they were not illiterate, certainly didn't have books. And so only maybe the community had one book, and the prayer leader would have the actual text, and then there was very often a small refrain that was easy to memorize, and people could sing along. And this one is Lishmoa, so each of the stanzas end with the phrase Lishmoa el harina v'el tefillah. Here are really our song, right? Lishmoa el harina, listen to our song and to our prayer. Okay, and I'll chant it in a traditional nusach. B'matzah menucha kidamducha techillah, hataz nechamim aram yoshev tehillah, lishmoa el harina v'el tefillah. Carolyn, do you want, Rabbi Braun, do you want to come lead this? Would you come lead this? Sure. Okay. Oh, sorry. Thank you.
Sorry, I was thinking about the guards at the door.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what do you want me to do?
Lead.
In English or Hebrew? Et yamin oz arada lasot chayil b'tzedek nekad nishchat muro ayil b'genan hagzeo b'in zakam b'odlil lishmoa el harina v'el hatfilah. Receive all who seek your presence. Let their plea reach your heavenly abode. Do not refuse to hear their prayers, the fervent prayers which they offer. Lishmoa larina ve'el hatfilah. Trembling before you like a woman in travail, like a woman bringing forth her firstborn. Is that any different than your other borns? They stand in awe before your wonders, before the wonder of your forgiveness. Lishmoa el harina ve'el hatfilah. Yotzeret halachal yotzir notzar, konenet hamei az terev lachalatzam mimatzar, lechananam hinam meyotzar ha-menutzar, lishmoa el harina v'el hatfilah, marom yunatzmo pish'ei kahalecha, nashak v'meyotzar Hamuchan bizvulecha, adicha lechon hinam be'imelecha, lishmoa el arina v'el hatfilah. Consider our suffering, not our sins. Vindicate those who plead before you. You who perform wonders, hear us. Lord, God of hosts, hear our plea. Lishmoa el arina v'el hatfilah. Once you received the temple sacrifices, now accept our petition for forgiveness. Accept the plea we offer this night. Reveal for us the wonder of your deeds. Lishmo el reina v'el hatfilah.
We'll continue on page 30, slightly out of order, but it makes some kind of sense. 30. We'll read together. Our God and sovereign, enthroned on mercy and ruling with loving kindness, forgives the transgressions of God's people and repeatedly pardons. God is generous with forgiveness for sins and deals compassionately with all mortals. You have taught us, O God, to remember your attributes of loving kindness. Remember in our favor your covenant of kindness, which you revealed to Moses, the most humble of men. Thus it is written in your Torah, Adonai descended in a cloud and stood with him there and proclaimed the name Adonai. And Adonai passed before Moses and proclaimed. Second paragraph in the Hebrew. Vayir Adonai b'Anan, vayityatzei b'Mosham, vayikra b'Shem Adonai, vayavor Adonai al panav, vayikra Lavanenu, Chatatenu, Chatanu, Slach Lanu Avinu, Ki Chatanu, Mechalenu Malkeinu, Ki Fachanu, Ki Atadinu Tov Salach, V'Rav Chesed L'Chol Korecha. You may be seated for the third piyut. This is a Hasidic song treasure, musically, and it's maybe the most subversive, from one perspective, of all. And this comes from the Hungarian Hasidim of Kalev, and who lived a very pastoral life. Right? They lived in most, I don't know if you know this, but most East European Jews lived in, I don't know, Lewiston, Auburns, Bangors, kind of small cities. That's the word shtetl is kind of a small city. But in Hungary, there were a lot of more, I guess, rural Jews. And so this is a shepherd's song. and you can kind of understand that it's a shepherd who's singing about the fact that the sheep that he's in charge of don't have enough to eat, and he wants the adon, right, the master, to bring more feed for the sheep. And the master says, the master says, I don't have to bring you more food. You can just eat. The sheep can just eat. He calls them holy sheep in the song, by the way. Tzon hakadashim, holy flock. But you already can see why a Hasidic Rebbe would find analogous, right? The idea of the shepherd and a flock, and the master, of course, is in his imagination becomes God. And the master says to the shepherd, "There's still stubble in the fields. Let them eat that." And maybe they're goats, actually, not sheep. No, yeah. I don't know, goat, sheep. Anyway, but maybe it's goat.
sheep.
I always say sheep, but maybe it's really
It's
goats.
sown is sheep.
It could be goats.
Egels.
Anyway, whatever. Anyway, so there's still some stubble in the fields. Let them eat that. And the shepherd's response is, well, if that's all the sheep eat, they won't have enough milk come spring or summer to feed their lambs. And get that metaphor, right? They won't be able to continue and thrive and create new generations. And then the third verse says, a week or two go by, and there in the distance, hark, is a man on a donkey, right? Maybe he's the Goel Hador. Maybe he's the redeemer of the generation, right? Maybe this is the Messiah that we're waiting for. And it turns out not to be the Messiah. It turns out to be the Master, or God, and who says to the shepherd, "How are my sheep doing?" And the shepherd responds so interestingly, "As long as I am their shepherd, Bal Yechzar Mitzanai, there will be nothing will lack from, my sheep will lack for nothing." But for people who are familiar, what's the most well-known psalm? 23. And what is this? How does it start? Adonai ro'i lo echsar. Right? God is my shepherd, and I will not lack for anything. Right? And here you have this metaphor of the leader of the community, the shepherd, who's now not God. God is not the shepherd. The Rebbe is the shepherd. The leader is the shepherd, who says, "I will make sure." You're not. You're telling them that they should be eating stubble. They should be happy with the little that they have. And I'm telling you that I will protect my people, right? That they will not lack for anything. Like lo echsar, they will not lack for anything. And we're living through such complicated times, watching especially what's going on in Israel and the poison that Messianism can have, right? We can see Messianism as, right, and Messianism is throughout our books, throughout our texts, throughout our liturgy, but it can also have a poisonous influence if Messianism is understood as, okay, one day God will send that man on the donkey, he'll say, we're right, and they're all wrong, right? And they all have to recognize that we're right and they're wrong. And here you have this very interesting old Hasidic song that says, no, that's not Messianism. Messianism is us. It's us making sure that everything, every person, every human,
Taking care of each other.
everyone in our world will lack for nothing. That's what Messianism is, right? So that when there's the man on the donkey coming, but that's not how it really is. The way it really is that we take responsibility for our people, for ourselves, for our communities, and we make sure that people don't lack for anything.
yakimson hakadoshim tachan orchim leroyehem tachan orchim leroyehem oy yedman no
shepherd's tune.
Ooh.
It sounds like the shepherds moved to Poland.
Well, no,
We actually performed this in Poland once.
yeah.
Similar reaction.
Well,
Yes.
so that's traditional. This melody follows the other melody. And yeah,
Oh,
right. It kind of takes you a little bit.
yeah.
And we'll continue. Well, once again, page 30. El melech yoshev al kisei rachamim mitna'ig b'chasidut mochel avonot amor mavir rishon ma'abim mechila l'chata'im mislicha l'poshim oseh tzedakot im kol basaf aruach lo kara'atam tigmol. Second paragraph. Lo nitzalanu l'mashot shesregei zechol anu ayot כמו שעדת לנו מקדם, כמו שכתוב. וירד אדוני בענן, ויתייצב עמו שום. ויקרא בשם אדוני את יזרעאל. ויעבור אדוני על פניו, ויקרא סלחת לעווננו חטאותינו ונחתנו, סלח לנו אבינו כי חטאנו, מחל לנו מלכנו כי פשענו, כי אתה אדוני טוב וסלח, ורב חסד לכל קוראך. I'm going to say you may be seated. It is somewhat traditional to stand for this, but you know, here's the problem. We skip so much. So when people, you know, when you say every page, and most of it's sitting, and occasionally you stand, that's all right. But when we do only the highlights, and people end up standing all the time, and we have to change the custom. So sit. Okay. Shema Kolenu. This is, you know this, and it's traditionally chanted responsively, where the prayer leader reads it one line, and then the congregation responds with the same line. Shema Kolenu Adonai Eloheinu. Shema Kolenu Adonai Eloheinu. Chus v'rachem aleinu v'kabel b'rachamim v'ratzon et tfilatenu. Hashiveinu Adonai elenecha v'nashuva chadesh yameinu mikkedem ata shlichenu melfanecha Ruach Kadshecha al tikach mimenu. Ata shlichenu leitzikna kichlot kocheinu al tazvenu. Now you have to be seated, and we'll sing together the third line. This being a great lead-in to page 40, you might want to rise for this too. Our God and God of our fathers, hear our prayer, do not ignore our plea. We are neither so brazen nor so arrogant to claim that we are righteous without sin, for indeed we are sinful. Hebrew Eloheinu v'lavotinu tava lefanecha tfilatenu v'al titalam mitchinatenu she'eina nachnu azei ponim u'kshe odef v'oima lefanecha Adonai Eloheinu v'lavotinu tzadikim anachnu v'lo chatanu avol anachnu v'avotenu v'imotenu chatanu.
תפרנו שקט. איי, איי, Sorarnu, Avinu, Pashanu, Tsararnu, Kishinu, Oref. Ay, 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 Rashanu, Shichatu, Tiafnu, Tahinu, Tinitanu. Ay, 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 We are guilty. We betray everybody. We rob. We slander. We pervert. We corrupt. We insult. We are cruel. We falsify. We counsel evil. We lie. We mock. We rebel. We blaspheme. We are ruthless. We are pernicious. We transgress. We oppress. We are stubborn. We are wicked. We destroy. We are degraded. We blunder, we misguide. Sanu mitzvotecha mishpatecha tovim elo shabalanu ve'ata tzadika kol haba aleinu kemet asita v'anachnu hirshanu. You may be seated. Right, the next thing we want to sing is an Our Selichot book, but I don't think it's in yours. Yeah. So, and there's a reason for that. No, and it's a good reason. Because, so look at what's on page 47. So it's a beautiful piyut, it's a beautiful poem or page 46 actually, the bottom of page 46 and then into page 47. And where the poem, that hymn that calls on the entity that answered to Abraham, our forefather, on Mount Moriah, shall answer us, to Isaac, to Jacob, in different places. And it goes throughout Jewish male history. And, 46, 47, right? 46 and 47. Yeah. I'm sorry, right, you're right. Yours is on page 42. Sorry. Okay, thank you. Thank you. I'm sorry. So, but the text is the same, right? So, thank you. Right, in our book. So your book ends here with Ezra as the last one, and then to all the righteous and the pious and the Tamimim, the sincere and the straight and narrow, honest. And it's basically a prayer that says that, okay, we know God, you're focused on the big names, right? And we read the stories in the Torah and the Bible and the Navi and the prophets, and okay, God, you're there for Abraham and for Isaac and Jacob and Mordechai and Joseph and Moses and Aaron and even Pinchas and Jonah in the belly of the whale, and but don't forget us, right? And that's where yours ends, right? But my book which is just as ancient. Maybe this one from Hartford, so that's why you know it's better. Yours is not from Hartford. And has an addendum, right? An additional paragraph on the bottom. It's the one I wrote the chords for. And it changes the whole tenor of this. And it changes the name for God here is used as Rachamana. It's in Aramaic, right? Rachamana, the merciful one. Da'ane le'aniye. Not the God that answers the famous and the powerful and the big names, but it's the God that answers the poor. Rachamana da'ane le'aniye. The God that answers, the merciful God that answers the poor. That's the God that we want. And it goes on to say, Rachamana da'ane l'tvire liba. The God that answers the brokenhearted. That's the one who we want to answer us. It's a great Hasidic melody.
And there's a part for you in there. It's the most Jewish of lamentations, Oy vey.
Which is part of the traditional song. Yeah. Rachamana de ane la'aniye oy vey anena. Rachamana de ane la'aniye oy vey anena. Rachamana oy oy ay anena, oy 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 anena, Rachamana de ane lesvire libo, oy 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 anena, oy 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 anena. Oy vey. Oy vey. Rachamana de ane la'aniye oy vey aneno. Rachamana de ane la'aniye oy vey aneno. Rachamana de ane l'tvire libo. Oy 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 aneno, oy 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 aneno, Rachamana de ane l'tvire libo. Oy 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 aneno, oy 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 aneno. And just a little linguistic note. So maybe to make Aramaic maybe a little easier for Hebrew speakers, very often the shin is replaced with a taf. So the tvire is the shvire, like the shvarim, the sound of the shofar makes is the shvarim, the broken sound, right? The shaver is break. So in Aramaic it's taver. So the tvire liba is the brokenhearted, so it's shvire. So for those of you who are trying to follow Aramaic and if you know Hebrew, that's a good thing to know. And the hey is often substituted with a dalit. And you kind of put that together and it sounds a lot more like Hebrew. when you make those changes. Anyway, okay.
This is one of my that was one of my favorite songs. Beautiful, right?
And page 46 in your non-Hartford book. Shomer. Shomer means guardian. Shomer Yisrael, the guardian of Israel. Shomer Israel, Shmo Sherit Israel. Shomer Israel, Shmo Sherit Israel. V'al yovad Israel, v'al yovad Israel. Ha'omerim Shema Yisrael. Shomer goy echad, Shmo Sherit Am echad. Shomer goy echad, Shmo Sherit Am echad. V'al yovad goy echad, v'al yovad goy echad. Am yachadim Shimcha, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai echad. Shomer goy kadosh, Shmo Sherit Am kadosh. Shomer goy kadosh, Shmo Sherit Am kadosh. V'al yovad goy kadosh, v'al yovad goy kadosh. Am kalshim shalosh kedushot lekadosh, kedushot lekadosh. Skip 2 paragraphs. Avinu malkeinu, Avinu ba'aneinu, Avinu malkeinu, Chaneinu ba'aneinu, Ki ein banu Kaddish Shalem, page 50. Yitgadal Yitgadash ay 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 Shemer Haba Yolemod Yibrachirut Yamlech Malchuteh בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכו בית ישראל בגלה ובזמן קריב יאמרו אמן יהי שמי רבו מבורך לעולם יומי ומיו יבורך וישתבח מפה אבירומם ויתעשה ויתעדה ויתעלה ויתעלה על שמי דקודשה ברכו ליאלה וליאלה איי 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 מכל בחכתה היש אשפה בנחמה תרמירם ביום אבימרו אמן תקהפץ לג'ון ובאותון איי 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 לכל ישראל קדם אבוהון ובשמיה איי איי ויאמרו אמן יהי שלמה רבו מן שמיה איי 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 וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל איי איי ויאמרו ay la 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 ay 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 la la mama ay ay la mama ay la 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 mama ay la mama ay ay la mama ay José shalom imroma uya ase shalom aleinu ve'ako Yisrael ve'ako Shvei Shalom in Roma, Ula se shalom aleinu, Ya'akol Yisrael, Ya'akol Yoshvei Teveinu, Amen. Oy, ay Ramama, ay Ramama, ay Ramamo. Ay Rambo, ay 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 Rambo, ay 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 Rambo, ay Rambo, ay Rambo, ay ay Rambo, ay Rambo, ay Rambo, ay Rambo, ay ay Rambo, ay Jose shalom imroma. יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל אמן יעשה שלום במרומיו יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל Ya'akol Yoshvei Tevel Emru Amen Ay Ramamo ay Ramamo ay Ramamo ay Ramamo ay Ramamo ay 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 Ramamo ayo ay ayam ay Ramamo ay Ramamo ayam ayam ay Ramamo 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 se shalom romance Uya se shalom aleinu Ya'akol Yisrael Ya'akol Yoshvei Tevel ay 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 Amir Jose shalom imromav Uya se shalom aleinu Ya'akol Yisrael Ya'akol Yoshvei Tevel Amen ay 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 Ramama ay ay Ramama ay Ramama ay ay Ramama ay ay Ramama Shana Tova. Oh, a good year to everybody. Oh.
Thank you for having us. Every year we look forward to this so much. Thank you. Shana Tova.
I never thought it was so fun to say I'm sorry.
Sometimes it's not fun to say you're sorry, Rabbi. Sometimes it's like, sorry for doing whatever I did, right? Right?
By the way, if you're hungry, there's food outside. This shepherd has supplied food for the.
What's that song?
thought we were doing the responsive reading.
Hello, hello.
No, I'll turn off the light. The chillins are